Welcome, fellow politicians and everyone listening. My name is Lea Vermeulen and I am the Danish Environment Minister. I would like to thank the UN's leadership for inviting me to give this speech. Over the course of the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will analyze how the climate has changed over time. I will also discuss what it takes to slow it down, so that our kids and grandkids can have a future without worrying about it. I will come up with some examples of solutions that we have used in Denmark and some solutions that are more likely to make a stable future and prevent catastrophic climate changes. I hope that we all, after this speech, use a little more time to think about what we can do in our everyday life to prevent global warming. In the nearest future, we will have a much warmer and dangerous planet if we don't do anything about it. We are giving our grandkids a planet that is already torn apart, and not to forget the signal we are sending. As the wise man Stephen Hawking once said, and now I quote, "We are close to the tipping point where global warming becomes irreversible. Trump's action could push the Earth over the brink to become like Venus with a temperature of 250 degrees and raining sulfuric acid. There are more frequent and severe extreme weather events, from hurricanes, floods, forest fires, to droughts and sea level rise. Increasingly, there will be areas of the world too hot to live in. Animal agriculture is a leading source of climate chaos, generating more greenhouse gas emissions than all cars, trucks, ships, planes, and other transportation modes combined. The Food and Agricultural Organization estimates that animal agriculture contributes 14% of greenhouse gases. Disease vectors are spreading with rising temperatures. Ecological and agricultural systems could break down and possibly lead to mass starvation. Although there are many consequences, there's also a lot of ways we can decrease the weather changes and maybe slow the global warming. In Denmark, we have made some changes that will have a great impact in the CO2 discharge, according to the Danish plan from 2018, and now I quote. In April 2018, IMO adopted its first strategy for the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions for shipping. The strategy includes a long-term goal of greenhouse gas emissions reduced by at least 50% by 2050 compared to 2008 levels. The Danish government has joined the Global Carbon Neutrality Coalition with the goal of reaching global carbon emission neutrality no later than 2050. Actions are needed now and not in 10, 20, 50 years. If we don't do anything about it now, it's just getting harder and harder to stop. We need to think new and innovative. Denmark is a small voice in this regard. No matter how much we try and success, we can't do it without help. If we want to put an end to this global warming problem, we need to work together. The EU Commissioner for Climate Action, Miguel Arias-Cañete, said in 2018, and now I quote, "And it's going to need huge efforts from all of us individuals, governments, business, schools, and other organizations working together for a better climate and a better future." The most important challenge we face today is to stop the climate changes getting worse. It's a problem that will have consequences in the whole world, and it's a problem that needs to be solved together. The key to a fertile planet in many years is to spare it from as much as possible. It can be hard sometimes to see it from another perspective. We can manage to keep this world healthy if we remember that the small things also count. The effects of the climate change are being felt on all continents across the world and are being predicted to become more intense and more frequent in the coming decades. Different regions and countries face different problems. These changes have the power to transform our world, affecting food and water supplies and our health. The bigger the problems, the more difficult and expensive it is to solve them, which is why taking early action to deal with climate change is the best option. It's important that we all do our part in the fight against global warming. It's important to do everything you can, everywhere you can. If every person is walking around and thinking that one human can't do anything, then just remember that it's not only one human, but the whole humanity. Remember that together as a united force, we stand stronger. And remember to change the small things to a more climate friendly action. Every small step counts. Now we have come to an end, and I would like you to feel free to ask questions. But first, thanks to all of you for your time and attention, and the UN's leadership for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.